And this is something you don't see every day. There's a couple things in Watcher of Realms that you should definitely focus on. And if you check my previous videos, I strongly suggest going for attack boost and critical rate. I mean, at least this is the things that you should start with. When you open your hero, go to your hero on the gear section. Definitely you want to put some attack bonuses here. This is the main status. Now we're talking here for the main status. That should be attack bonus. But what if I told you that when you go for your attack bonus and critical rate, and of course you have to hit specific percentage, I strongly also suggest that you should get your critical rate from the second status. What I mean by that is this is your main status from your gear, and of course sometimes there is a critical. I mean, as you can see, a critical rate 60%. I don't suggest people actually go for the critical rate as a main status. Even that this gear is ASEAN mythical gear, it didn't actually matter. It should be an attack or critical damage, and I'll explain you why. If you get lucky to get a critical rate from a second status to 100 and maybe 101, 102, or maybe 100% to have a critical rate. So basically every hit is a critical damage. So from there you can definitely go for the critical damage, and this is very important since the moment you start doing only criticals is going to be the moment that you should actually focus on the critical damage also, not only the attack boost. Attack boost is a great thing. As you can see, my abomination have 12,000 extra attack, and this is 2 times more from his base attack. Of course, you have to pick also heroes that have good base attack for your DPS. I mean, this is topics from the other video. Right now, we're focused on the critical damage and the attack speed, since this is the second part from your gear. The first part is your attack percentage to boost your damage in general of your hero. The second part is critical rate. Somehow try to get this to 100%. Here is 14%. Try to get it a little more, or maybe from this gear here is 21%, something like this, just to hit this. Okay, maybe over 90% critical rate. Just try from the second status to get your critical rate. Now the attack speed is also very important, since this is going to reduce the interval over your attacks. If we go to the base attributes, attack interval is 2 seconds for the abomination. And yeah, if we see here, attack interval is minus 0.6 seconds. So it is basically 2 seconds. Normally should be like 2.6 seconds, and this is, yeah, because of this attack speed boost. So the more hits you do, the more critical hits you do, the more critical big damage hits you do, is going to be absolutely perfect for you and your combination of hero, your team in general, for any progression. It can be guild boss, it can be campaigning, it can be any place in Watcher of Realms. And I make this mistake back in the days. I was thinking, okay, this is my gear. I'll go everything over the percentage attack. Even when I make my live streams, I was having some suggestion from the people, just go full on the attack bonus. And I don't think this is actually a wrong advice, but in general, yeah, definitely go for percentage attack, but in the same time you have to also watch the second status. And by increasing your attack speed and critical damage, if we even check the top performing players, and this is very easy to be done, just go on the guild boss and select here, for example, Nightmare 4, depending on which dragon you're hitting. Here is your guild ranking, so we don't care that much. Maybe if you're in the top guilds, you may care that much, but if we check the world ranking, here we're going to see some heroes. From one hit, this guy did close to 100k. That's amazing. And normally the top damage of these teams is Zilito. So if we check, yeah, it's Zilito on the top place. So what Zilito actually have as advantage? Just maybe I have to move my head a little so you can see what I'm talking about. So Zilito have critical rate 105%. So here the items is everything as a second status is critical rate 20%. Here we have 16%, so this should be compensated from somewhere. Critical rate 24%, so 24 with 16% is basically 20. If you put 20 critical rate on each of these gear, you're going to get 100. So here 22%, here we have 22% again, you get the idea. So here critical rate is 105%. Attack speed is 324. Pretty juicy attack speed if you ask me. The attack is 15,000. Now my abomination have more attack from this. And I also have Zilito, I'm going to show you later maybe. And here the critical damage is 433%. 433% this Zilito is actually having as a critical damage. Absolutely massive critical damage. And the attack speed is also on level, is 324. In same time, let's check somewhere, maybe some other hero, maybe go for Siwas. It's going to be close to the same status. Okay, critical rate is 99.5. Let's say it's 100, maybe 5 hits from 100 hits is going to be a normal damage, but still pretty decent critical rate. Critical damage is low here, and the attack speed is pretty decent also. The attack in general is not that much. This rage regeneration, I don't know, maybe this is the items he get, but anyway, if we check his Zilito, normally the people are putting the best gear they have on Zilito in Guild Wars, in Guild Boss, in almost all the places. Here we're going to see that this guy didn't actually do that. Oh, oh, he switched his gear. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And as you can see here is critical damage, attack bonus, critical damage, attack bonus, and here we have also attack bonus 6.6%. So in general, my suggestion for you is when you're making your gear, now if you're low level and you're in the beginning of your game, you definitely go for the flat status. Just the percentage for your low level heroes is not going to boost like the flat status at the beginning. But further in the game, when you hit mid game and end game and you have some kind of team, some kind of combination that you can work with, go for percentage. And in my opinion, the main priority, of course, if you don't get ace and mythical gear, which is definitely very hard, go for the gear. If you get normal mythical gear bypassing the stages, I strongly suggest go for the attack bonus. The second priority here should be critical rate, the second priority should be critical damage, and the final priority should be attack speed. Now, it's very hard to get 3 from 4 of this status, and in same time, this 3 from 4 status to have decent percentage here. Maybe this is not good example. This is also not good example, and this is also not good example. But okay, let's get this ring from the rat. Critical attack bonus, critical rate, critical damage, attack speed. Now this is very good gear. This part here is very good. I mean, this gear is very good in my opinion. You get your 20% critical rate, you get some critical damage, you get some attack speed. In same time, when you can go and switch between attack bonuses and critical damage like I do in my abomination. Here I have critical damage as a main status, but rest is just attack bonuses. So the main status should be attack bonus and critical damage. The rest of the status should be 3 from the rest 3 status that I mentioned already. And I think like this, you're going to build a very decent heroes, very decent team for the specific cases. For example, in the gear right one, you can switch this gear to your Kmet or Vierna or whatever hero you have for the gear right one, and you can perform absolutely great because those status is the main status in Watcher of Realms. This is the main status, and this is what the top players are doing, and you can easily even get some advices from these people without actually asking them. If you make your little research here, you're going to also see that this guy is using Howl. This is for rage regeneration, especially this part here. When trigger increase the hero healing by do I say hero can one. Okay, this is not actually the it's this part here. As you can see, the ultimate, no one cared for the ultimate, but this spell here is actually that is giving some rage. You're going to see many people are using that. You're going to see many people are using Zilito. Zilito is top damage on the guild boss, and even from if you don't want to watch the guild boss, you can go in the rights and, for example, select gear right one. Why not? And here you can see guides, recommended lineups, and this is basically lineups for the from the people who actually was fighting here before you, and you can easily select some of the heroes here. And maybe if you have Abomination, you have Kmet, and you have Arrogance, for example, you don't have Howl, but in same time you have Elwin that is still giving you rage regeneration. You don't have Vierna, but you have Kmet. You get the idea. You don't have this Morrigan, but in same time you have Eona from, I think, no Eona. What was this lady name? But anyway, you get the idea. Just find the heroes and why people are using the heroes. And at the same time, you can also check their gear. And like this, you're going to save a lot of pain in your progression in Watcher of Realms. I hope my tips was helpful for you guys. If they do, hit one like, subscribe to this channel, and see you in the next video.